Alright, I think I'm all set up here. I got my maps.
Speaking of poisoning people...
I don't get it.
How you doing today, Red?
Am I forgetting something?
No?
Because you asked that in a very pointed sort of way.
I think, isn't he on point, and he's the one who did the thing that triggered us to roll initiative at the end of last week?
Yeah, he opened up this door here.
What are we fighting? Do we know?
You don't know yet.
Not yet. It's
Okay,
a surprise.
So for once, I'm not behind. Like, I know everything that's happening.
Did I write down my initiative?
I'm just very suspicious. Oh, my initiative. I'll assume it's 15.
It's where my thing is, yeah.
We don't have the... Yeah, we do have the initiative counter.
Yeah, we set our initiatives before.
We closed for the night. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I remember I got yelled at for having 29 initiative.
Yeah, you got into trouble.
The rogue I'm playing in our Saturday game, the lowest he can possibly get on initiative is 18. So last night, I literally got to roll initiative. Alright, I rolled a 1, so I go on 18.
Wait. How did he do that? Explain
How
that.
does he
He's
have
reliable
17? Okay.
A rogue with any ability check turns into a 10 automatically. You can't roll less than a 10 on any ability check, and initiative is an ability check.
Okay.
And he's got a +8 initiative, so that's it.
Okay.
Fucking amazing.
I feel like I've asked you that before and you ruled no.
Maybe I did. Maybe it's much different when you're on the DM side, and I read it very differently.
Okay.
That's the beauty of being
That does
the DM.
sound like him.
Alright.
Yeah, because I remember Brickard saying that Khalil couldn't tell Zook to do Commander Strike and get a sneak attack out of it.
I've gotten away with some pretty horseshit stuff, though, so I mean, it's fair on both sides of the table.
Although last night, we were just... We killed 4,000 of these guys' giants. Like, we're just not challenged at all by any of these giants. And he souped them up. Like, he's like, alright, I made these giants a lot tougher. And after, like, the second complete session, he just turns and he's like, what do I do, man?
Well, first off, you don't give everybody 3 freaking magic items to start.
It's not even the magic items. It's just at high enough level in D&D 5e, you're either dead or you're perfect. Like, the math starts breaking down.
I told him, fuck it, just roll to see if Strahd shows up. Let's just go straight there. Who has a 100-word summary of the trouble you guys got into last week?
Well, Tidal Wave happened. That was exciting.
That did happen. I enjoyed that quite a lot.
We don't know exactly the fate of every single crew member of the Deceit. We do know a lot of people died, but we did manage to save some lives, so that was cool.
We all lied to the council, every single one of us.
Yeah.
Nobody told the truth.
And
Alright, back up a step. Wendy didn't lie.
Wendy wasn't there.
Wendy left.
Yeah, because Wendy did the very smart thing of brandishing weapons in the place where you said you're not supposed to brandish weapons ever.
Hey, it was great. Everything went super well. And there were no
Everything went-
consequences.
Absolutely no consequences. So the council told us to go off and find basically scapegoat for this whole Kraken tidal wave priest thing. And we came to this cave, and we found Nem, a poor little kobold that was sold to these crazy people.
Right, didn't you lock him out and be like, hey, just go ahead and eat that grung slurry?
I'm pretty sure I distinctively told him not to eat any of the bodies. But the slurry's fine, yeah.
What's wrong with the slurry?
I suppose.
The things have poisoned skin.
It's like, listen, stop harshing the slurry. So,
We've all eaten the slurry, okay?
And so we're doing our adventurer thing, poking through this place, and suddenly roll initiative.
and opening this room, you immediately draw the attention of... What colors do I have here?
Looks like you got a purple one, a blue one, and a green one? Or no, you have 2 blue ones. You are double up on blue.
I don't think he actually fixed his initiative there.
The colors must be wrong then, because I've got a black, a blue, and a green.
Two blues
Nope,
and a
that's very blue.
Wow, I don't know what to tell you. This is black, blue,
Alright.
green.
I just changed it to black.
Should I
That's
roll
all.
to see if Strahd shows up?
Sure.
So you want me to roll for initiative? Is that what you're saying?
As you crack open the door, it's a large stone commons room. There are several wooden pallets set on the floor, and a cook fire has been built in the northeast corner. Smell of frying seafood permeates the air. Black smoke rises into a hole in the stone ceiling. In the southern alcove of the room, down here, is a gaudy gold statue taking the shape of the Kraken symbol you've come to recognize. 6 cultists and their cultist ringleader here are taking a meal, and there are 7 pairs of eyes on the opening door. And Birdie, you get to act first.
Well, there's 4 pairs of eyes on them.
5.
I'll just.
Subtle, I like that.
So these are actual cultists, robe wearing cultists.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Okay.
That's profiling.
How wide
No,
did
they're
Red
either
open that
cultist
door?
Or a wizard.
Fairly wide.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a 22.
22 will hit.
Let's see. How surprised are they?
They're not surprised.
Oh.
They're all looking to see who's coming in the door. That's opening
11.
behind them.
That's 12 damage piercing.
12 damage, and he caught him bringing his spoon up from his bowl of seafood soup. You pin his hand to his face and pierce his brain, and he moves no more. Moving or staying put?
I'm staying put.
Okay, it's going to bring us to Red.
Go ahead and throw a dagger at this guy.
Okay.
It's an armor class of 25.
25 does hit.
For 6 damage.
And you have bloodied him, as he now has a dagger poking out of him.
Bonus action offhand dagger.
Okay.
Armor class of 19
Also hits.
for 2 damage.
Okay, moving or staying put?
Fall back to there.
Okay. The elite takes up position in front of the statue, and he orders all of his little minions to charge the door, stop the intruders from entering.
Frick,
Ooh.
is that the only black one? They're all looking blue to me.
Yeah, he's... I mean, not to be racist, but yeah, he's black.
Boop. Well, that didn't... Oh, there we go. Thanks.
Woo.
Glue. So, Glue's gonna step here,
Okay.
and he is going to charge this way and axe this guy.
What do you axe him?
Do you like extra damage for being charged at?
It's a weird statement.
He says
for me to
no.
make.
He doesn't like it very much at all. And also,
That
he only
is
has
a-
1 hit point left, so please be
That
gentle.
is that's a 21. That's a 21 to hit.
And you've murdered him.
Well, darn, because I get an extra 5 damage on top of that.
Poor
Anyway,
defenseless
yeah.
cultist.
So I will take a swipe at the second one right there.
Okay.
Right down one. That is only a 13 to hit.
13 does hit.
9 damage.
9 damage. You murder him as well. Seafood soup is just splattering everywhere.
And that's the end of Glue's turn.
Okay. I guess Wendy gets to go next, doesn't she?
I mean, I will if you let me.
I was going to skip over you, but...
Fair enough.
Monk tax.
I'll head in,
Okay.
and I'll take a couple longsword swings. I'm not going to do my cape just yet, although I'm keeping the option open.
Okay.
So, first guy is a 20 to hit.
That hits.
For 12 damage, slashing, magical.
You cut through him.
And second guy is a 25 to hit.
Also hits.
For only 9 damage, slashing, magical.
And you cut through him as well.
Alright. Flurry of blows.
Cut all of these nerds down in the space of like 3
nope,
seconds.
that's a miss. And that's a 13, I guess. That's 20 to hit
That hits.
for another 7.
Okay.
Bludgeoning magical.
And he is bloodied. As the dead cultists are piling up in this room.
But I am still blind.
Okay. I will roll at some advantage against you then. Seven's not going to hit.
No.
The 23 will.
Yeah, that'll crack my noggin.
Okay. Gru, you watch as
Hey.
this cultist takes out one of these black daggers, like the first one had, and tries to swipe at Wendy. Misses. The elite pulls out his own black dagger. Stabs her in the side with it. Wendy.
Mhm.
4 points of piercing damage. Plus 3 points of necrotic damage. Take that off of your maximum hit points.
Okay.
Will you watch as this elite twists his wrists and breaks off this knife, so he's just holding the jagged handle, leaving
Whew.
the blackened metal in the wound.
Ooh.
He then pulls a second dagger, and he can safely leave Wendy because she can't see. Steps over to the doorway, and tries to stab you.
Okay.
And you're not reckless attacking, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't have reckless attack.
12's not going to hit.
No, it is not.
So he has his second black dagger that he pulled out, and he goes in, and you parry the blow. And that's going to bring us to Adrex.
All right. Adrex stomps into the room. Says, "First one of you minions that surrenders doesn't get to die." And then he looks at all the dead minions and says, "Oh, most of you are dead anyway. Never mind."
So rude.
That was good.
That is an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Cool. For 10 damage.
Okay.
Second attack. Yeah, second attack. Off the table. All right. It's a 16 to hit.
16 does hit.
16 to hit. For another... Off the table again. Another 10 damage.
Okay. And the elite is bloodied.
Offhand. See, that's what I get for trying to stay at the table. That's 10.
10 does not hit.
All right.
Does
Adrex
not look
calms
like the
down.
remaining minion will be taking you up on your offer, though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, there's this green piece down here. That's interesting. Birdie.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not important.
Okay, so we're just gonna shoot this guy now.
Okay.
It's 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Okay. That is a lot of sixes. That is 30 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And
And he goes down, and his dagger clatters to the floor. Moving or
then I'm
staying
going
put?
to move behind Adrex here so I can see further into the room.
All right, Red, you want to mop this up?
Just go ahead and stab that guy.
Okay,
So it hits a 21 on armor class.
that hits.
For 25 damage.
All right, and that's the end of him. So each of these cultists piled up still has one of these black daggers on hand. Windy,
Yeah,
make a Constitution saving throw, please.
you got it.
Gua scoops up his torch that he dropped.
That is a 12.
A 12. Take one more point of necrotic damage. Comes off your max HP as this dagger still stuck in this wound begins to seep and ooze.
I'll head over to Adrex.
Adrex.
Gonna make a medicine check to try and stop it.
You have to, I mean, just like bandaging and stopping the bleeding would be easy. You
No, let's
actually
get
gotta
that crap
remove
out of
the
there. We
metal
can
out of
rip
there.
that shit right out.
Yeah, Doc, fix this.
I'd rather have a big old hole that we can heal up than this horrible shit in here.
All right.
Yeah, make a medicine check.
All right. It is a 23.
23. And it's not pleasant, but you managed to get in with your pair of forceps from your healer's kit. And the metal on this knife feels very brittle, like pressed sand. And it takes a couple tries, but you manage to pull the length of it out. And you're sure that none of the residue remains in the wound.
Good work, Doc.
Gaping hole, but that necrotic effect should probably be over.
I should probably.
Closes her mind, breathing out until it's done, and then opens up and nods. Thanks.
So, looking around the rest of the rooms, is there a? It looks like from the map that there's a door there and then a double door there.
That is correct.
Okay.
This one right here was held open by a crowbar, I believe, because we suspected that if we pulled a lever in there, then it would
Yeah, it was a drown room.
drown us.
It would flood the room out. Yeah.
So let's check out this door.
Okay, it looks identical to the other doors in the place. It has the various mosaic tiles on it. After a few moments, Red figures out where the black ones are.
All right, let's go ahead and open it.
Solves the dragon claw puzzle. Always bear, bear, bear.
Okay, and it opens into a little twisty hallway with another identical looking door on the other side.
Okay. Try and open this one.
Okay. Once again, it only takes you a few moments to figure out where these black mosaic tiles are. And as soon as you open the door, the elite cultist on the other side, lying in wait, lunges forward with his knife, very nearly catches you with it. And we just keep this same initiative. Let's see, that was Red's action, triggered his held action, so he gets a turn immediately. I like how that shakes out.
I'm suspicious.
I'm very skeptical of this.
I'd be surprised if I killed anyone in this dungeon.
You just took out 7 guys. You know what? Fuck it. Strahd shows up. All right.
He is Strahd! Damn it!
Surprise! It's Strahd Vanzarvich.
Red, I've got an 8 to hit you.
Nope.
And a 20 to hit you.
Yep.
5 points of piercing damage. And just like before, he twists his wrist and breaks off this black dagger in the wound. And then he breaks and runs. So you do get an attack of opportunity as he tries to make for the door back behind him.
I'm going to uncanny that 5 down to 3. So the 5 comes off the max HP?
No.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't roll the necrotic damage. The 5 was just the piercing damage from the dagger. Yeah. It's 3 points of necrotic damage, which comes off your max.
Okay, so 1 and then 3. And then opportunity attack. Wait, did you just run through everybody? No, he's leaving me. That'll hit. No, oh, I can't. I use my reaction for uncanny.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, he gets over to this door and he gets out his holy symbol and he's touching it to the tiles and waiting for it to open. But these doors do take several seconds to open, so that's going to bring us to Wu.
Here comes the pain train!
Did Wu turn into like an evil clown since last week?
Nah, not quite.
Is he like Pennywise now?
Yeah, basically. The pain train only hits an armor class 14.
14 hits.
Okay, since I did get the 10-foot charge in on that, that's going to be... Hang on one second. My character sheet vanished for a second. 5, 10, 7, 17 damage.
17 damage. Now I've got to get calc.exe. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I love calc.exe.
It's my favorite part of this complete breakfast. He is bloodied as you charge forward. You slam into him as this door is opening up.
And second hit.
Good news is the door on the other side is being wedged open with a metal pole, so once he gets his door open, he's free and clear.
That's an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
I don't think he's going to get that door open.
You don't think so?
I don't think he is either. That's another 14 damage on top of that.
He's badly injured, but he's still got 1 or 2 breaths of life in him. Moving or stand put?
Stand put.
Wendy, what are you going to do about this?
Dash.
Use her violence.
Well, you can't dash over here. This door's not open yet.
Oh, I know. I'm a monk.
It's going around the long way.
And I'll use my bonus action to create wind in the area around me.
Okay. Adrex.
The pain train.
I'm gonna stab him.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Choo choo.
How does a 19 do?
19 will hit.
That'll do.
It'll do, pig. It'll do.
9 damage.
9 damage. And Wendy, just as this, watch this, you get there just in time to see this door open up, and he's already dead on the other side.
I'll wave to Adrex. Nice work.
Adrex waves back.
And he still has one of the black daggers on him.
Is that rude? Gosh, I hope not.
Jump through.
I'm gonna collect.
This is a stone chamber with a single pillar. It's adorned with hooks from which hang sopping black robes.
And I'll
Who's
grab
gonna-
Adrex, because I saw Red get stabbed, which I don't think Adrex did. Adrex, Red's being stoic over here. Pull this thing out.
Who's gonna pick up the black dagger?
All right. Pull the
Red,
thing
give
out.
me 1 Constitution save before Adrex gets over there.
1.
1.
Unless it's against magic or a spell.
It is against magic.
Here comes the 20.
Yep.
13.
Okay. You're fine for now, provided Adrex passes this medicine check, which I can tell he's just aching to roll because he's wagging this die all over the table. Like
Guys,
a
we know the
mofo.
save DC. It's 13.
Yeah, it's a 14.
14. Red, take 1 point of slashing damage as Adrex removes this piece of knife. Adrex, you're pretty sure you got it all, but like I said, when you apply a lot of pressure to these knives, if they feel like pressed sand, they kind of crumble and fall apart as you come out of the wound. But you give it a check over, and you give it the Adrex seal of approval.
We should avoid being stabbed by those things.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
But he's not sure if he got it all? So I've got a compass as part of my inventory. And I'll crack it open, take out the magnet, and run it over the wound. Just make sure to get those last little fragments out.
Magnets are magic, and this is a low magic campaign, so the magnets aren't real.
Who's gonna?
You don't know that they're magic. You don't know how they work at all.
Glue is going to take a couple of minutes to scoop up any of these leftover breaky daggers.
Okay, well, each of the blue cultists, so 6 of them in here, the elites each had 2, and they each broke 1. So there's 8 total, plus the one that Red got at the beginning of the dungeon. You have a nice collection going.
Yep, I have put that on my character sheet as black breaky daggers.
Okay.
Tapping on the tiles in this door.
Okay, opening it up.
Yep.
And it opens into a long hallway beyond. Almost immediately to your right, about 10 or 15 feet in, is another door leading south. And the hallway continues on into the darkness.
What do I get with 60 feet of dark vision from there? Okay.
And you see the hallway kind of curves off to the south a bit, and you can make out the movement of water against the stone tiles of the floor.
Glue gestures to the door to his right and says, "Probably make sure nobody's coming up behind us."
Yeah. Let's open that one.
Open it up.
While standing on Adrex's shoulders.
Oops, I flew.
Birdie. Right about where you're standing outside of this door are 2 large barrels, almost filled up completely with sea salt. And there's a couple of empty barrels sitting nearby as well, in the space between the door that Red is opening and the door that you just came through.
Okay.
The stone floor of this room is immaculate. It's absent any of the tracked mud of the other dry areas of the tunnels. You see 3 of these bone pillars rise from the floor in the center of the room, and lit torches are arranged in sconces in a very particular way. There's a torch here, one here, and one here. So as to cast their shadows into the center. You hear the soft burbling of water throughout the room, accompanied by a scritch, scritch, scritch noise of scraping metal. The scraping noise ceases as soon as you open up the door, and you hear a hoarse, sing-songy voice inside ask in broken common, "Who is it?"
Adrex takes a step back.
Okay. Adrex looks like,
Maybe-
whoa, 3 torches? I don't know about this.
Maybe we should close this door.
Glue looks to Red.
Step inside.
Okay. As you step inside, what looks to you at first is just a vaguely humanoid-shaped pile of sodden robes, black sodden robes, steps out from the shadows in the back of the room. And on further examination, she looks like an old green-skinned woman with a tangled mass of seaweed-like hair and just a heap of black robes as she limps forward. Around her neck and upon her shoulders, she wears, for lack of a better word, like a shroud of these bloated, fleshy tentacles. And the first thing she says as Red steps in is she wags her gnarled, clawed finger at you and admonishes you for entering her forge with your muddy feet. She insists you go back out and scrub them clean. She gestures nearby to the door where you're standing, and you see a bucket of soapy water with a scrub brush in it.
Wood is not looking terribly interested in scrubbing his feet.
Is Gwoo even wearing, like, boots?
Yeah.
Are you the leader of the Kraken cult?
And you can tell that she's somewhat annoyed that you've ignored her request. But she shakes her head and tells you she is only their smith.
How many cultists are there in this complex?
She kind of dismissively says that it's difficult for her to count. They all look the same to her. What's next?
Gu holds up one of the black sand daggers and says, "You make these?"
Make a... Both of you in the door, make an insight check.
Uh, 21.
Stand by. Sorry. It's a 16.
You see the slightest of grimace on her face when you hold up one of these knives and you ask if she makes them. She does answer your question. She does tell you she takes great pride in her work. This is a proprietary secret that gives her life great value to these cultists. But as she speaks, you can tell that she's not here by choice. She makes these things under duress, and she's pretending like she takes great pride in it, pretending as though she isn't making them under duress.
Where is this bucket?
Did both of us pick up on that? Or just...
Both of you did. The soapy bucket
bucket
is
is next to
inside the
Wendy.
room next to Red.
Oh, it's in the room?
Yeah, it's inside the room. Just inside the room.
Adrex sticks his head between Glue and Rad and goes, "Are you not going to take her up on her offer?" Man, my feet hurt. Adrex picks up the brush, plops his butt on the ground, and starts scrubbing.
And she admonishes you for sitting on the floor like a common barbarian.
On your feet,
How else am I supposed to clear my feet?
And she glares back up at Red, and she asks if any of your companions have any sort of manners. She questions your upbringing.
Adrex stands up.
I'm a fucking sailor.
Yeah, Red will start scrubbing off his boots, and he'll scrub off the path that he trekked through this room after he's done with that.
Okay. What's Birdie and Wendy doing back there?
I don't know,
Wendy's
I'm-
gonna head in, perch on one foot, and start cleaning off her other foot.
Okay.
Birdie's looking at the barrels of salt right this second, just peering in them.
Does Birdie know anything about, like, standard trade or just like Dragon Horde treasure trove trade?
Just Dragon Horde treasure trove trade.
Okay.
I love the treasure trove trade.
It's big business.
Well,
It's
for
tricky.
dragons it is. What's next for you guys in the room? Now that you've scrubbed your feet clean.
I'll look down at the bucket, and start scrubbing my wings clean. I got blood all over them. It's a mess.
It's gross.
So where were you before you started working here?
She dodges the question. She tells you here and there in the service of... She starts listing off names that are probably supposed to sound impressive, but you've never heard them before. Her particular skills are in great demand, and she's worked with a great many of the various dukes and duchies.
Do you know that your cult compatriots just drowned an entire town 2 days ago?
And she snickers a little bit to herself. She says it wouldn't surprise her.
Guru rolls his eyes.
Well, at any rate, you'll be free to go once we finish taking care of these cultists.
She asks what you mean, take care of.
Well, I think there's one that's still alive because he wasn't a threat, and the rest refused to surrender, so they're all dead.
She asks how many of them you've killed.
What are you on, 8, Adrex?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8.
Plus there's the one who has a broken leg that's mandacled up at the entrance.
Yeah, I feel bad about killing him. Haven't done it yet. Seems like a nice guy. He was from the entrance. Like we went through like the cave sphincter. It was really weird.
She says, as you regaling her with tales of all of these murdered cultists, she says, kind of stoically, without the hint of sing-song in her voice now, "That's mighty impressive work. One wonders what would become of the little old smith in their forge."
Well, if you're not a threat to anyone outside of here, unlike those cultists, and I don't see any reason why we'd even need to tell anyone in a position of authority that you were here.
And she
Like I
says,
said, you should be free to go.
I wouldn't harm a fly, of course.
Do I
How
believe
do
her?
you feel about Krakens?
Greg, go ahead and make an insight check.
It's 21.
You get the sense that she's hurt a great many things in her day.
Mhm.
Adrex, because you are an expert on elves and also other reasons. Through the course of the conversation, she's speaking in broken common, and the accent you're picking up on her is a Sylvan one. This is definitely an evil fey creature. But she gives you all of the assurances in the world that if you let her live, she will be of harm to no one and that she has no interest in the dry lands whatsoever. I see you
Red's the
guys
one who's been taking the
marked
lead
to
on this.
Remember
So-
where the loot is.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, Red's opinion is she was a captive of the Kraken people. He doesn't feel the need to kill her today. Like, she's not actually, and honestly, she's going to leave the Drylands alone. That's probably good enough.
Of course, if you're going to set her free, she's going to need one of the cult's holy symbols to open the doors on the way out. Otherwise, she's stuck in here.
We'll get you as we're leaving.
Unleashing horrors upon the world. Woo-hoo.
She asks you then if you know how to get into the entrance of the temple. If indeed your goal here is to wipe these cultists out, completely cleanse the place of the Kraken's evil.
Probably not if we're not already in the temple. I kind of thought this was it.
You're in the caves above the temple, my friend. She tells you that the temple is heavily guarded by a thick magical membrane. And she describes it as being similar to the one that you pushed through at the entrance, but larger and thicker. And more difficult to pass. If you bring her one of their keys so she can open the doors and leaves, she'll tell you how to pass it safely. She'll tell you the magical ritual that the cult uses to pass through it.
Did the other cultists that we killed have keys on them, aside from the one I'm carrying?
The two elites did. Yeah, they each had two of the black daggers, and they each had a key.
Would it
I think
be
we
good
should
enough
take
for us to just bring you to the entrance? Because we have a couple allies who are behind that door, or at least one, and we wouldn't want you to frighten each other.
And she's kind of taken aback, and who would be frightened of a harmless old woman like me?
Birdie raises his hand.
Yeah, and I'm afraid the other one's a kobold too, so tends to run that way.
So you give her a key, or are you going to try to escort her out?
We're offering to escort her out in lieu of giving her a key.
Okay. Wendy, make a persuasion check. Roll high.
Well, Red, you do it. I got
Well, you're the one who
6.
spoke.
6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. She tells you to give her a few moments to pack up her shop here. And then she begins kind of busying herself collecting things from the various alcoves on the sides of the room.
Gu watches her as she does this.
Okay. Gu. In each of these alcoves, you see there's water bubbling up from the floor, which is somewhat porous in the low corners. And there are lumps of coral and sea stone, just like chunks of bits of mineral kind of piled up in each of these alcoves.
Okay.
After she's done collecting some various things into her robes, one at a time, she soaks her hand in the water of the alcove and reaches up, and one by one, snuffs out these 3 torches. Leaving the room in darkness.
Gu still got his torch, though.
Okay. Then she stands before Wendy and says, "Very well, I will follow you then."
All right. We'll do our best to escort her out.
Okay. As you pass through this room, she walks up to where the dead elite is laying and rummages in his robe for a minute and finds his key, the same similar one that Red's using to open these doors. And you see her just kind of tuck it into her sodden robes and then rejoins the group. And waits patiently for Red to open the next door.
Yeah.
Okay. And you come back through the hallway, back into the room where you hear the splashing noises off to the south. You
Move
see,
around the perimeter.
she very kind of instinctively gives this room a wide berth as well.
Yeah. Do you know what's in that pool?
She says, "Oh yes, that is a fell creature created by the cults, to which they offer sacrifices, workers that are of no more use to them." And then she beams with pride a little bit, and she says, "Again, a secret they learned from me."
Oh. Hmm. This
Alright.
is fine.
What's this kobold's name? Remind me again.
Nem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Open this door. All right, Nem. Careful. We've got somebody with us.
And Nem is just shivering in this corner here, and he watches as you all come in. And you don't see that he recognizes this woman as she walks past him.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes no moves to stop you, and he's not leaving this place until you do.
Wu rolls his eyes, tosses them a bit of hard biscuit.
And as you pass through this room, where some of these grung bodies are floating, she reaches down and plucks a couple of them out of the water and tucks the bloated things into her robes as well. And she says, "Waste not, want not."
Birdie, come.
I open up the final door for her.
Yep.
You left this guy alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, where's he gonna go?
And I'll have my sword out when we come into this room.
Okay.
He's still manacled in here.
He is. He's kind of lolling in and out of consciousness. And as the old woman enters behind you and sees him, she looks back at Windy
Mm-hmm.
and says, "I thought you had said you had killed them all."
I'm almost certain I didn't say that.
Wu says this one's going back to the Kovnos.
No, this is the one we kept alive. Broken leg. Remember?
And what good is he to anyone alive?
They can ask him about the wave, and once they're sufficiently convinced that it was these cultists, I assume they'll execute him.
And you took his black dagger, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. She tells you that when you find the pool at the end of the hallway outside of her forge, the center of the pool, the floor is made up of the same membrane as this cold wall in this room. It's much thicker than this one, and pushing through it is much more difficult. The bit of magic you need is to hold a mouthful of seawater and let the membrane give into its strength. Let it hold you. And just before you run out of breath entirely, swallow the water. And as you swallow it, so too the wall will swallow you, and you will find yourselves in the bowels of the temple.
All right, roll for initiative.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm attacking her.
Man, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Wendy's
Adrex is
belief is
surprised.
our place in the world is to make the world better. She was never gonna let this lady out of here.
Yeah, everybody roll initiative.
Adrex, do you want to go first, or
Jot down her
should I?
stat block because you weren't supposed to fight her, but okay.
I mean, she's evil. Evil
Adrex?
Fae.
You want to go first, or should I?
You can go first. I don't care.
Hey, Wendy, can you make a bluff check for me real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. What's that, deception?
Yeah.
19. No, 20.
All right, so that beats my passive insight of 19, so I'm surprised.
Birdie, you're first. I'll let you decide if you're surprised or not. That's up to you and your read on Windy until this point.
No, I don't know what's going on. I'm just happy to be here.
Okay.
We'll fight who we want to fight.
If it makes you feel better, Red, I was probably going to let her go until she took one of those horrible tentacle things. And then I was like, alright, fuck this.
Windy, make me a wisdom saving throw. DC is 11.
You don't get the Raazu bonus for this. I'm sorry.
That's fine, I'm a monk. That's 12.
A 12. So as you go to reach for your weapon, whatever you're about to strike this hag down with, as she sees that you're moving towards her with violent intent. Actually, no, you don't have to make this save.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you don't have to make it if you can see the hag's true form, and you can't. So, yeah, go ahead and kill her.
She's like, oh, fuck. Damn it.
You have no idea how ugly she is.
Oopsie doodle.
My one weakness.
How did you know?
Get some nice long swording in. How does a... I'm sorry about this. How does a 14 do?
14 will hit.
Alright. Another 14. And I'm going to need 2 Constitution saving throws.
Okay, bear with me just a second.
That's fair.
One fail and 1 pass.
Alright.
Assuming an 18 passes.
She is stunned
Okay.
until the end of my next turn, and she takes 27 magical slashing.
And you slash her magically. As soon as she tells you this fell secret, you repay her kindness by chopping her arms off. She is bloodied.
And now I'm going to do a flurry of blows. And that's 2 hits for another 19, the magical bludgeoning.
Okay. So Wendy hears these secrets and immediately just starts destroying this poor old smith. Gwu, what do you do about this?
Guu's a little bit shocked at the stones on Wendy. Holy shit!
Gwu surprised.
Gu is surprised. Yeah.
Adrex.
I don't think Adrex would be because he had the insight that this is an evil fey creature.
Adrex was like, surely Windy won't let her get away with this.
Adrex brushes past Gwu.
Actually, Gwu, I need you to make me, before Adrex does anything, a wisdom saving throw, and Adrex, you need to make the same saving throw, because you both can see her.
See, DC is what?
11.
Failed.
Nope.
Both failed?
Yep.
Gwu and Adrex, you are both afraid of this hag. You can repeat this
Really?
save at the end of each turn with disadvantage if she's still in line of sight.
And
Then
fear
You're not,
is I have
you're not compelled to move away from here, but you cannot move towards her, and you attack her with disadvantage.
Then Gu is ducking back around the corner.
Gwu's not doing anything because he was surprised.
Oh, right.
He just started this turn. So yeah, Adrex, you can't move towards her, but it looks like you were already standing next to her.
Actually, Adrian
no,
and
I
I were
pushed him.
switched.
Yeah, I pushed him
Okay.
out of the way. But I do have Raazu's whip.
Closes his eyes, starts swinging.
Yep, that's exactly what's going on.
Kill it, kill it, kill it.
For second attack.
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
There it is.
That is a 25.
That was at disadvantage.
Yeah,
Okay, roll
I got a
damage.
17 and a 20.
Had to throw away that 20 for that.
Yeah,
It's a D4.
D4.
D4 plus either strength or dex.
For 7 damage.
And you lash out blindly with this whip, and you hear this sickening crack as you slash open one of the tentacles placed around her neck. The blood spurts out of it. You realize there's a gash in her neck underneath. You're better with this whip than Raazu ever was.
Mm,
Only blind people can use whips in this campaign.
It's true. And she slumps to the ground, and you hear the metallic clank as the holy symbol she picked up hits the stone.
Adrex lets out a sigh of relief.
And the cultist is kind of roused from his exhausted slumber and starts to look at the spectacle before him. And he looks none too happy.
Adrex looks at the rest of his companions and goes, "She was really evil. We really had to do that."
Also, when you guys were down in the temple, she was totally going to come back in here and take all the loot. Like 100%. You had it so conveniently just written out here that... So yeah, she had that holy symbol on her. And 6 of these daggers.
Goo keeps stockpiling, I guess.
Okay.
No one else's arguments.
What kind
I
of
don't know.
horrible shit had she been packing up?
Mostly just odds and ends from the room, just hunks of this mineral that she had sitting there. But it looks like they had a small stash of daggers in that room that she had finished making, and she had taken all of those.
What are you planning with those daggers, Gwu?
Goo shrugs.
What's the kobold's name? I keep forgetting.
Nem.
Nem.
Hey, Nem, get over here.
He's really far away from you. He's not going to hear you unless you are
I'm
screaming
yelling.
at him.
Yeah.
You
Do
hear
we have any seawater?
there was something seeping up inside the forge.
I have to go all the way back to the forge to get this.
Also, the water in these flooded rooms is seawater. Yeah, you hear
What-
some
what's
half-hearted splashing as Nem kind of comes around one of the corners, tiptoeing around the dead grungs, and you see him peek around from the wall where Gwu is standing.
All right, and I will explain the ritual to Nem and get myself a handful of seawater to go with him.
You're going to take him out?
Yep.
Okay.
Also test the ritual. All right, guys. If I'm not back in like 2 minutes, assume I got trapped in the wall.
No,
So-
1 second. Let's think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because getting trapped in that wall sucks, and I don't trust you to hold your breath as long as I can. So, Wendy,
Also, how do you know she wasn't blowing smoke up her ass?
That's why we're trying it with the wall that's easier.
Wendy is going to think for a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so when we were moving through that wall, we could pull things with us as long as we were holding them, and we could contact other things because we were able to. I was able to touch Adrex. Adrex pulled me through. However, when someone standing outside pulled a rope, it stopped dead at the wall, and that caused an issue. Am I right with all of that, Red?
Yeah, that's to the
Yeah.
best of my recollection.
What if we sent 2 strong people, and Wendy points to the 2 extremely buff people in the room, each holding one end of a shorter rope through on each side?
I
Would
don't
they
know.
then have the rope connect in the middle across the wall, and by necessity connect with anyone stuck?
I don't know. I don't want to go back through there again.
I mean, hopefully the ritual works and we just go through it.
Sure, absolutely. I just want to think this through beforehand because last time we didn't, and it was horrible. I
Also-
think that all makes sense. So feel free now, and I'll
All right.
wave swords
And
around.
I'll make sure that we're at the center of the wall, and I'll tell the kobold what the ritual is, and I'll do it.
Okay. Now, when you enter the wall, eventually you're gonna have to make a strength check.
Yep.
You can willingly fail this check.
So would that be required by the ritual to give into the wall? Or...
That's what her explanation was.
Yeah,
She told you
then I
to
will
give
fail
into
the
the
check.
wall.
Yep.
And I mean, your every instinct is telling you to push through because that's what you did last time. And you feel it kind of encase around you. Take 1 point of acid damage.
Okay.
And yeah, you still have this mouthful of seawater.
Yeah, swallow the seawater.
And it's with great difficulty you swallow this mouthful of seawater, and it makes your head a little dizzy. 'Cause you know, too much of this will make you, well, maybe not you, but other people sick. And as soon as you do, as soon as the seawater hits your system and you can feel it kind of spreading out, you're ejected through the wall to the other side. Just spat out.
And is Nem over here?
You told him to do the exact same thing?
Yep.
Okay. Let's make sure he didn't fuck it up, because he's really terrified. Actually, no, he's seen this. He's had to do this before. And yeah, he shows up on the other side.
Alright, do you think you can make it back to the village from the surface?
And he looks over at the wall and he kind of dejectedly says, "Not with the ladder in that condition."
Did we not leave a rope down here?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
left a rope down.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a pitton on the top, right?
Hmm.
He tells you, well, what was it? What was your instruction exactly?
I asked if you could make it back to town from the surface.
He tells you yes, but he's lying to you. He's not
Okay.
going anywhere near Kovnos once he's out of here.
We'll see about that.
Do we care?
Yeah, I don't think Red actually cared. Well, I mean, Red's real concern is if he doesn't go back to Kobold, he dies worse, isn't he?
Possible.
Well, here's the thing, though, is he's a witness to what the fuck has been going on.
Do I think he's just going to run out in a random direction and get himself killed? Is that my read on him?
I mean, you know that kobolds are reliable or kind of reliably resourceful in their own way. You just figure he's absolutely terrified to go within striking distance of the Kovnos, because last time he was there, he got sold into goddamn slavery and ended up in a kraken mine somewhere.
That's fair. That's all fair.
All he
Is there
did
any
was
sources
punch a
of
dude
water?
over some stolen grog. I mean, that was it.
No,
Is there
he
any
should have
water on
had
this side of the wall?
grog.
Tomato, tomato. But yeah, he's physically capable of getting up this rope, and he tells you he'll go back to town if that's what you ask him to do.
Right, but he's not going to.
No, he's definitely not going to. This will be the
And
last
is there
we see
any-
of Nem one way or the other.
Is there any seawater around here?
Not in this room. I mean, the walls are damp and slick with slime, but you're not going to be able to get hold of like a mouthful of it.
How far from the ocean is the entrance?
You were about a half mile outside of town, off in the woods. And there's lots of little tributaries and things that come in, and there's some marshland. There's probably water outside.
Alright, well, I'll let the kobold go, but I'm going to have to go and get some more water, so...
Okay.
How long
When-
does it take him to go get some water?
A lot longer than the 1 minute he said he'd be gone.
I think at that point, Wendy'll put some seawater into her water skin, grab onto the two buff people that she said, "All right, we're testing the plan. Somebody grab the rope."
I guess I'm pushing through the cave sphincter again.
Okay. You guys doing the water trick or not?
We're doing the water trick, but we're trying to spread the rope alongside the walls to catch anyone on the inside. I know there's no one actually on the inside.
Okay. Do all of you elect to fail this strength check when you feel the wall sticking you?
Yeah.
That hurts Adrex to do. But yes.
And provided you swallow this water, and it does, you feel it's going to make you ill if you swallow a great quantity of it, but you guys are spit out on the wall. And you see Red shimming up the top of the rope.
Well,
Wendy, you go through too?
Yeah.
Leaving Birdie all alone back here, huh?
Yep.
well, Birdie's got company.
Birdie.
He's got the captive.
Once they disappear through the wall, the captive kind of looks for a few seconds, and then back to you. And he says, "Could I possibly tempt you with more gold than you've ever seen in your life?"
Or he laughs at him and says, "Ha, ha, ha, I grew up around a dragon." Ha, 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 and he walks away.
Holy shit, dude! Did you want to spit on him first? My goodness.
Cold-blooded.
Guys are so mean to my poor cultists.
So once
Yeah, Red, you're shivering up this rope to go outside and gather up some seawater, and your friends, after a minute, push through the wall.
And Wendy will blow air on the room, look up towards Red, and then shake the water skin. Did you forget something?
I don't
All right,
like that.
Adrex, and I'll hand Adrex the other water skin first. Here, drink some clean water first. We gotta not just swallow seawater all day.
yeah.
Wow. Adrex cleans out his mouth.
Okay.
Mm.
All right, let's make our way back through.
Is Nim still around, or is he already fucking gone?
Oh, he's totally going to just vanish off into the forest. There's no way he'd head back to.
He's a kobold.
Well, I mean, like, but is he still here in this basement?
He has scurrying away as a class feature.
No, he climbed
does.
up and out before Red did.
I will have you know that my scurrying away is a scout feature.
Goo looks up, presumably at where Nim ran off to, and says, "If I catch that fucker again."
You'll sell him into slavery again? To a cultist?
Yeah, good job with that, by the way.
Yeah, who's this person you said was in line with the cultists? Because we're gonna have to do something about that before we leave.
Yeah, Bosun Bob.
Bosun Bob.
Yeah.
So what's
So
next?
Goo turns back around, looks to push back through.
Yep. Gonna need another
Start
mouthful of
pushing through.
seawater.
I'll hand out the mouthfuls of seawater. I've only got the one skin, so it's probably just enough to get us back through.
It actually says a mouthful, not a beakful, so Wendy can't use this trick. She's got to do
Oh,
the
damn
old-fashioned way.
Well, no, I just have to go find a mouth somewhere.
Just like so many dead cultists, just take one of theirs. You guys push
Exactly.
back through the wall a second time using the same trick. And
And Birdie's gone.
yeah, Birdie took off, and when he got to the other side of this door and realized he doesn't have a key to get out.
Yeah, I was about to hand out the keys, so let's open this door. Let's
Who
collect
likes-
the witch's key, or the hag's key.
Why are we doing that?
Alright.
Because it's the biggest pain in the ass
Birdie,
imaginable.
you take this key. There are two keys from. There's one more key on an elite cultist in the other room. Who do we think should have that one? Wendy?
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Okay. So Birdie, Red, and Wendy each have a key.
Ghoul leers at the cultist as he walks back through.
So where's the
In
wall that we have to pass through,
number-
Red?
In the pool at the end of this hallway back here.
Well, I want to investigate this forge first and see if there's anything valuable she left behind.
Okay. I actually am getting a phone call from the wife, so I'm going to go silent for a minute while I take that. And
Alright.
I'll be right back in 5 minutes.
I'm gonna run
Sure.
another pass on my code then.
Oh, I didn't
Listonix
share
out of
my-
range. What?
I didn't share my engineering story. I can do that during the break, I guess.
How would? Come on, Nodal. You know it shouldn't tell you it's out of range. It should just silently fail
Exactly.
and overwrite memory some random location.
Uh-huh. And then probably just delete my computer. What was
Little
that?
computer, huh?
McDohl, tell us your engineering story.
Oh, I'll tell it during the break. It's
It's a lengthy one.
yeah, and why I actually hate engineering.
Alright, why is this broken?
Off by 1 error.
Well, I mean, yeah. Ah, that's the reason why this is broken. Because amount of windows I need to calculate again.
Did you ever get your shitty predictive text thing to work?
Yeah, I did. And now I'm working on a less shitty version. That's the plan, anyway. Alright, let's try that.
Oh my god, I'm getting divorced.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I remember I told you on Thursday that Peanut goes to work even when she's really sick. Like, she's... One of the side effects of that is when you go to work when you're sick, you don't get better as fast. So today's Sunday, she's still sick.
Right.
And she left her Dayquil at home today, and she just called me and was
Uh-oh.
like, can you bring me my Dayquil? I'm like, sorry, I'm working. So...